story behind this. A few weeks ago, we had Void hidden in a program. They were actually our maiden voyage. Sticker right there. We we had an issue where we had two microphones that my buddy Matt brought over for us to use for vocals because we had three harmonies going on. You had Austin on the lead, and then Andy hitting backups, and then Greg hitting backups on the other side. So I needed three vocal mics. He brought them over. We plugged them in. Sound check. Dead on arrival. Not a problem. I could fix them in 10 minutes. We managed to figure out without going that route, and that was to get because Tariq only had a 4-piece kit, we had an extra drum mic, and because Greg was playing with the modeler, we had an extra guitar mic. So Greg got the guitar mic, and Andy got the drum mic. We managed to EQ it, make it good work for the vocals, and I mean, you heard the product. But now I have two dead microphones that I need to fix. I mean, these things aren't cheap anymore. You probably can't get these for less than 30-40 bucks on a special. I'd go down to Tone Tailors or down to see my buddy Ben on Liddit's Music to get these rather than trying to go to Guitar Center or some other places in local. We like shop local around here. So anyway, I got these a while ago. I've had them for 5 years. They're no longer working. We're going to fix them. I don't want to spend 40 bucks on new microphones or 50 bucks on new microphones. So I'm going to get in here and I'm going to take them apart. So what your culprit is the switch. Now, I already went through and fixed this microphone earlier today. I put duct tape around it for two reasons. One, because I wanted to identify which one was fixed already. And B, there's a hole because we removed the switch. And you want to make sure you cover up your shaft so you don't get anything in the hole. And then this one is the one that we were going to. So we're essentially going to just take this switch out and we're going to turn it into a live microphone. I'll demonstrate real quick. Here's the broken one, but I'll show you. We fixed this one, and you can verify this as anyone who was here that this was a dead microphone before arrival. And I went ahead and fixed it earlier. Live microphone. You can hear me. I got my vocal delay on for the chorus. All right, cool. Live microphone. Fixed. You do not have a switch anymore. So the duct tape that I put around it does the two services. The other ad, besides just covering up that hole, it also provides an identifier as being a live mic now to the sound person, especially if you tell them it's a PGA 48. They're going to assume that has a switch, But that'll tell them that it's easy from the stage. You could use black duct tape or black electrical tape on here and cover that up, maybe do a thinner one so it's less noticeable if you wanted to. I like to make it noticeable to the person up front. I ain't glamour shotting how awesome I am. I'm just out here trying to get music made. But you can see that one dead, don't work. So we're going to set this one aside for now. And we're going to focus on this one right here. So the first thing you're going to want to do, because you're going to need access to the center of this, is you want to make sure you take out the XLR side first. I've already looks like I've already taken the screw out and I forgot to screw it back in before here. But when you come in here, we don't cut. There's none of those cuts on this program. We do live streams, so we rehearse. So when we make a mistake, we just go. So anyway, so you have this, and instead of having that, a couple things about this screw. First thing is you want it. You can see it down there. Now I don't know if you can actually see it. It's really small, but it's right here at this point, and it is a flat blade. And you're going to get in there, and you're going to turn it. So in order to tighten this, you do go lefty and loosey and righty tighty. But this is a reverse screw. Now a normal screw presses in and goes this way as you turn it, and you go this way to tighten it so it goes down. And then it tightens up against something. This does the other way. You're actually going to be tightening it this way, and the screw is going to pop up. So you're going to be actually still turning it left to tighten it, but it is a reverse screw if you try to put it back in without a reference point. So you want to be aware of that. So you're going to turn it to this way to tighten it. We want to loosen it. In this case, we're going to turn it that way and loosen it up. So now that'll allow us to slide this XLR out. So first tool you're really going to need on this job after the micro screwdriver. You see that thing has a big old handle on it. You can see where it came from. Won't say it out loud, but it's very questionable looking. So anyway, we'll go go ahead and just pop that out. So when I was talking about why this is a $40 microphone, it's really just because of this plastic. This thing this is the XLR side, so we're going to want to hold on to that. There's another piece in here that we're just going to chuck. So we're going to go back to the other side. Now we got a clear view of the shaft, and we can see that that's in there. Now you're going to want to take this off. This is your microphone capsule. You want to leave that over here for now, and you don't want to mess with it too much. All right, next big piece of information, we're going to get the spotlight over here, and you're going to be looking down. Ooh, that was a nice catch. Shouldn't have dropped it though. But you're going to look down the barrel, and this is a Phillips head, so you got to flip your screwdriver around, and then you're going to get in there and you're going to tighten it out. Don't really care about these screws in particular, but you may want to save them. I do a little bit of saving of screws so that I can use the screws later if I need to. So now you got your thing in here. This is the switch, and you want to get that out, so you're going to get your big pin, which I've got right here, and you're going to pop out the back of it. Easy peasy. This thing's junk. Now, if you go and test it later with an electrometer, it might still actually work, and if you really want to fix this thing to have a switch, you can go through the process. I never do that. Live mics are usually generally better and have less components anyway, so you kind of want it, they'll last longer. So now you have an empty shaft. And so you're going to want to now do the next part of it, which is feed the wires through. And for this little trick, I use my Bic pen, and I use the cap. So we're going to take the black one. It doesn't matter. You can do the black one or the red one. But you want to get this in here. So you feed it in the top. If you try to stick this through here, unless it's really, really straight, if it's even a little bit floppy, it might be a little bit difficult to get it all the way through the hole down to the bottom. So you don't want the wire to be floppy. You want to stick it in here so that you can make it rigid. It'll help out. And then you put the cap over the top of it. Now it's going to keep through, and you don't have to tape any wires. Some people tape it. I've seen some people tape that. And so you don't want to tape it. You want to make sure you have all of the wire available. So then you just shove it through there, and pull the pin out the other side, and now you got this. Now, I'm going to tell you, because this is important, I made this mistake when I was doing this one earlier. You want to make sure that you pull this down and leave this on the back. You don't want to cut this yet, because if you need to cut more later, it's going to be there. So you don't want to make the cut till you make the cut. Now, I've already made some cuts to save us some time. You would do the next step, because this wire, see this end of it, is not shaving off. So you're going to use your wire strippers / cutters. This is a wire tool, and you're going to strip them. We're not going to do that because I already did it. Now, the next thing you need to do is you're going to get this up here, and you're going to look at the red. This is the black wire, so you're going to want to put this on the yellow side. You may want to put the other red wire through, and because of the trick that I showed you earlier, it's real simple. We're just going to throw it in the Bic. So you can see it a second time. We're going to put it through here. Pin in the back so that it sits inside that pin cap, and then we're going to march it through the end right here. Bam, all the way through. We got it. So now we got enough room to work. We got enough room here. We're going to get up in here, and if hopefully you can see this, I'll pull it up a little bit. But you want your black one to go on your yellow, because that's the negative terminal. And then you want your red one to go on the red one because it's the positive terminal for the XLR. Good tip on this, because we're not going to solder, and we're not actually going to remove these right now because of the time constraints. A good tip on this is to take a picture of this if you're unsure which one was which when you first started. Take a picture of all wiring before you start cutting or taking things out. I replaced a dryer heating element a few weeks ago by making sure I checked everything, so that I didn't have a falter later, but you don't need to do that. So now your switch is gone. I think I tossed it off somewhere, I don't know where, but now that that's gone, you're going to wire these up. You're going to pull this wire through. You don't care if it's floppy anymore, it already got the job done. So you just hold it back, and then you're going to take your wire strippers and you're going to cut them. I'm not going to do that right now because I'm actually going to repair this thing later. I just wanted to show you this, but if you need help with soldering, there's plenty of YouTube videos online. They'll show you how to do it. But your main tools for that are a soldering rod and a heat dissipator. Another reason I want to use this right now is I don't. This is the rod here, and then this heat dissipator. The other reason I don't want to use this now is that I don't have a stand for it that's proper, and it's kind of a safety hazard. And I don't need Safety Jason getting on me. If you haven't met him yet, you'll probably see him at a concert at some point. He keeps bugging me about my safety issues. But in any case, we're pretty much done at this point. We got to solder the other end, and so after we cut, we're going to do the next phase, which is to get this rubber gasket back on here. Now, one thing you got to be aware of when you're looking at this is there's two little, and I already took the wires out again. Make mistakes, we just move on. And there's two little rivets in here, so where you want to make sure that you get this, and let me get the spotlight on that so you can see a little bit better, but there's two little rivets where the wires goes. When I put this other one together and I fixed it, I made the mistake of not getting it through the wires, and so my capsule sits a little bit higher in the pop. You can see where it is. See how that's not in there? So here's my spotlight again. You can see how the wires are not running on those two ridges, but they're right above it. And so when you get in here and you want to solder it, we're going to use this microphone now, and you get to the soldering point, you're going to want to make sure you look for the red dot, because that's where your red wire goes, which is the positive terminal, and the black one to the negative terminal. And then you're going to get in there and you're going to solder it. You want to be sure that the two solder dots do not touch each other, because that's going to cause a short. Again, this one works great. I got it all fixed. And that's pretty much it for the 10-minute tech tips. I still got to turn it up. All right, now we have audio.
All right.
All right.
We hearable?
Yeah, we're hearable. So we got Burden of Guilt over here. Let me check the angle on the other one. All right, cool. Good. Got a lot of junk in the screen, but that's okay. All right, man. Need my iPad.
There's a lot of production that goes into making this work.
Yeah, and
I
I've
can only imagine.
just a couple people, you know. So, yeah. So we're here with Burden of Guilt for, you know.
Awesome performance.
Yeah, great performance, man. I was really impressed with Jeans, but we'll get into some of that here in a little bit.
Sure.
But why don't you just tell us about your band, like how long you've been playing, and then we'll kind of go from there.
So, I started this project about over a year ago. I've been doing music my whole life, and I never was able to really pursue it in a major aspect. And then, COVID hit, and then I linked up with some old friends back in the day, and they got me into really playing a lot again, going to open mics, and then it kind of proceeded to go from there. And then just it's been a journey for sure. The fast movement has been a little overwhelming, but we're taking it one step at a time and really enjoying it. But the whole point, actually, we wanted to be called Chokehold originally, but there was another band called Chokehold, so happens all the time. So Burden of Guilt kind of came up. One of my former guys, Elijah, he's drummed for me a little bit, and he kind of was walking through a bookstore, and we were walking through a bookstore, and then all of a sudden he kind of just stumbled upon this book, it said The Burden of Guilt, and it just kind of rung in my ears, and I was like, this is I think it's a cool name, and I think it represents what we do, with feels and emotion and reaching out to people. It's a big thing.
Yeah.
And then I met these guys.
Met. Yeah.
I've I've actually known.
Reintroduce himself to me. I didn't remember.
Actually, I've known Casey like my whole life. It's crazy.
He's known me. I didn't know. Yeah. It's great.
It's wild, dude. And I grew up like with a sister. We were in like grade school, middle school, and then and Angie, she came to one of my first shows at the church. Like, well, I think it was my second or third show at the church.
Yeah, I've been really early on there. At some
Yeah,
point.
and like we really connected because like she was talking about how she liked the song Three Wishes, and then I found out a couple weeks later she was a drummer, and then and then after a while I was playing with these other guys, and then it just wasn't working. You know, they're awesome people, it just wasn't working, and I asked if she'd drum, and she came on board, so she's awesome.
And I'm
She
only
kicks
here
ass.
so I don't get fined.
Okay, what does that mean?
It's a Russell
Was it-
Westbrook.
Is
Yeah,
it-
Russell Westbrook in the National Football League.
No, it's NBA.
Oh, jeez, I don't even
The
know.
NBA? Yeah, I
It
don't
was
know.
my favorite quote of all
I
time.
don't know
I
much
don't even know where
about
it came
sports
from. It's
either.
like, yeah, I don't do it.
I'm only here because I get so I don't get
Oh,
fined.
here's so I
Okay.
don't get fined.
Yeah, that's
Okay,
probably why I didn't know
He
it.
just repeated it the whole
I thought
time.
I
It was
thought you
great.
were like double parked out there, or something, and you was gonna end up getting a ticket.
Oh, man.
So did you just start out on your own playing acoustic on your own before you pulled Angela and Casey in?
Yes, started on my own and wrote a lot. Like I literally wrote like 40 songs and like over 2 years, and I was just like I need to get this stuff out. I was going to mics and stuff, and I was getting a lot of really good feedback. With Shake winning stuff from the Sharks, he was like always telling me this, dude, you need to find a band. And I'm like, and it really like sunk with me and my buddy Zach Entenman. He's in a band called the Spiders HGB, Spiders of Harrisburg. They're awesome too. They're like surf rock, but like he was like, yeah, you need to do it, man. You gotta push it. And I'm just very, very grateful for opportunities and very grateful for Angie and Casey coming along and helping me push this through.
I want to throw in, I'm grateful that you reached out because we were able to put you guys on then
Yep.
when I was over at the church, and you shot me a message, and I could just tell from the message talking to you, I was like, yeah, this guy's passionate. They're gonna bring everything they got to this. So, and we've been friends now ever since.
Yeah, dude, it's crazy that we met like a year ago and like
Yeah.
we're homies. And, we're like,
I've watched the wild roll that you all gone through, and like the up downs, ins outs.
It's honestly my favorite part about the industry. It's like I have Bob Crum of Cole State, best friend, grew up with him, went to high school together. You have Blind Accuracy, Corey Austin, good guys. I've known him for years. Corey was a Marine, I was in the Army. But, it's like we all come back to music. And always it comes round and round. It's like having Josh been my sister's friend as a kid, like recalling those memories now, and then just having been in the music. I was always behind the scenes. I'd write with people, I'd work with people, I'd stand in for people, I'd go to studios for people, and then Josh was like, you should play the bass in this band. And I was like, oh, okay, all right.
So you played bass normally, or
No,
what, you write?
I write. I can play acoustic. I played drums for years. After an injury in the Army, I lost the dexterity in my left hand and hips for 4 years. I was in and out of physical rehabilitation to even get back to playing music. So it's like I've known music all along. Even now it's like rehab for me. Every once in a while you see me jumping around up there with my hands just trying to get the communication down, get back into the routine. It's still pretty fresh to be back, but it's like any instrument with the exception of piano, I'm getting back into being able to do, and I can teach anyone how to play music.
Did you play piano before?
I did.
You
I
had
did. Yep. I started saxophone, piano, and your orchestral string instruments, and then worked my way through. I couldn't play brass to save my life. That's not a thing for me.
Well, you have to shape your lips.
Don't work out like
you have
that.
to shape your lips a certain way to make
my
them.
cheeks would hurt. And I'm like, nope.
Yeah,
get
I
out.
played French horn like way back in elementary school, and that had the tiniest little
Yes.
like thing on it, and you had to like really like pucker up
Right,
your
like
lips.
it was like this is the longest kiss.
Yeah,
no,
yeah.
I'm out
Well,
here.
the music teacher at the time even told me, he said, I don't think you should be playing this because your lips aren't shaped correctly for the French horn. And I was like, I don't care what you say, I'm gonna play. Well, I ain't playing the French horn today,
That's
so
what
my
I-
lips are
I
not
wanted to play
standing
tuba
on
so bad. It's just like I was like, can we switch to a reed? Like, can I get a reed on this? Because this thing sounds great. So
playing horns is challenging. He's like, why don't you play the trumpet? Your lips are big and fat. That'll be better for the trumpet because it's a little tiny mouthpiece on the French horn. But listen to your music teacher. Sometimes they do know what you're talking
they're
about.
on to something. I mean, they call it like they see it. I tell you that.
yes, they do.
And then what about you, Josh? What'd you do prior to connecting with this band, like music-wise? I know you said you've been trying to get it done. How long have you been playing guitar?
I've been playing. I've been playing since I was 15. I took a music class in school, and then I really connected with a guitar teacher, and then he recommended a guitar teacher named Dave Hendricks. He was really with Three Dog Night.
Oh,
I learned from him a little bit. And then all of a sudden he just like disappeared. And I didn't want to give up. Like that's my mentality with anything I do in life. I don't give up on anything, you know. And I was like, well, I'm gonna start teaching myself, and you know, never really gotten the scales as hard as I should have. So like it's why I take so much pride in like rhythm. But like that's really how I started getting music. And actually, I always loved music growing up too. I actually started out playing the flute, believe it or not. And then I did the drums for like a couple weeks, and my parents didn't want to buy me a drum set, so I said okay, no, and then I found guitar.
There we go.
There you go.
But like, see, again, everything just seems to be happening.
They're easier to
Like,
transport.
Coming around in the circle.
Yeah, they're easier to
They are easy to
I stuffed,
transport, Angie.
I stuffed my kit to get to his house in the back of my mom's Fiat. I mean, full kit, 2 guitars and an amp in a Fiat. It was like I couldn't see out of the car. I just
Well, the
drove.
Fiats have the hatchback. though.
Unfortunately,
So
I laid,
you can
yeah, it's
you
just
can
like,
get a little. You lay the seats down, then you
it
can
was
get
ugly.
like a couple more
I had
things.
I
in
had
there.
inches to work with, and I was like, oh, I can't see out of any of the mirrors. I'm just gonna drive. You know?
Yeah,
Small
I
enough.
was allowed
forward
to
anyway.
stick
You're
yeah.
just going forward anyhow.
I was a lot like you, Josh, when I started. I mean, I started at 15. I did a lot of rhythm, a lot of acoustic music. I didn't start really doing scales and stuff until I was in my 30s because I was, you know,
That's why
starting
I
to follow
literally
other
just started doing
bands.
scales. Like
Yeah,
literally start
like-
really
So don't give up
investing.
hope.
Yeah, lead, man. Lead is like a challenge even for me. I'm not super accurate with it unless it's stuff that I wrote myself. If I'm trying to play other people's music, I just don't do it very good. But that's always been how I am. It's
You
like
just gotta
that's-
sit in the pocket. It's like it's so hard to sit in the pocket as lead guitarist too. Like you have to lead, but then you also sit in the pocket. Like that's how I feel when I play lead, and that's hard for me because I just drive everything. You know, it's just.
yeah.
Uh,
And then what about you, Angela? How long have you been playing drums?
I
Or
started-
what's your music background? I guess you play drums today. You might have done something else before.
I actually started with saxophone as well,
Oh yeah.
and then I was playing guitar. I grew up. My father always played guitar and sang, so it's just music has always been in my life. I play keyboards, and when I was 19, my ex-husband and he had started a band and needed a drummer, so I took my income tax return, bought a drum set, and I was like, oh yeah, the drums are way, that's my thing. I'm like, all right. Guitar I love, I couldn't keep the fingers down, and so I was in Time of Need for 10 years. It was a lot of fun. We did a lot of really great shows, and then I was out of music for 10 years. And then I started getting calls when people are like, through art, I do art. So I use art and music as a way of healing. I have PTSD, so it's just how I heal. I love art and music. It's everything I do. And once I started playing, it was this band. So I play with DHR, it's a punk band.
Okay.
I play with Idle Existence, which is members of Time of Need. Like we just got rekindled. So that's a metal band. And we're kind of on hold right now until after the holidays, we're going to get back together. I play with Magically Delicious.
So you got a lot of
Love
different
that
bands
name.
that you play in.
It fits your vibe so much.
Magically
So what's
Delicious.
magically delicious?
So Magically Delicious is, it's rock, but there's some ska in it, and there's blues, there's jazz to it. It's all over. It's really funky. I love it. My best friend's the singer, so it's really fun. And with them, I also jam with Julius. He just goes by Julius Myers, but the band is called Julius. I've done a lot of acoustic sets with them, but he had asked me to do kit drumming with them. And then Josh had asked me, and I was like, yeah, I'm too busy. And then he asked me again.
I worked there a little bit.
He asked me again, and I'm like,
He's got a really good
I
Are You Sure?
But I spaced it out.
Yeah, he's got a
Like,
really good Are You Sure?
I wasn't
We waited
I wasn't
long
a pest.
enough.
It is the best Are You Sure? Are you sure?
I was like, you really should come do the show because like we're doing this and that, and like, and she like, I don't know, I think I broke her down.
Yeah, it worked.
Good.
And like I've had that where I've seen you two like, everywhere. You've been all over the place. And if you're not playing at a show,
I am
you're at a show.
supporting local
Yeah,
music
You're
all
always
the
at. I
time.
swear I turn around and you're there like all
Always.
the time at
Always.
shows. Yeah,
That's-
everywhere,
yeah.
everywhere. You're there. So it never ends. Yeah, but again, like you just said, support local music. Go out
Yeah,
there and support local
them.
music.
Yes.
I mean that's why we're here and brought you on. So I saw in the comments on the chat that you guys had only been together for like this is your like third full time being together as a band, like playing the music there.
Yeah.
We all kind of sat down in a room and we were just like, you know, we had a really good practice and ran through like half the songs, and like we ran through it, we're like, I was like, I wonder if they'll be ready, because like I got asked by Jason Ermiller from the Kennel if we wanted to do a show on the 17th, and he was like, well, we prefer to have a kit, and I was like, okay, I gotta figure something out, like I don't want to miss out playing with like bands like Ford the River and Powder Cake Culture, like I didn't want to miss out on this opportunity, like, and we were trying to put the work in, man, and just get better, and like these guys are like sponges, they absorb everything, and like it's like we talk about this all the time, I've never met two people that I felt like I synced up very quickly, like even when we get lost in songs and stuff, like we always found each other and we connect and stuff, and we're all like we're homies, like best friends, like it's crazy.
I love you. I love you. I kid you not. This was like the moment for me. That he was just talking about. It's like I wrote the riff on the bass to strum it like that, but I mixed it up a little bit, and it's like he wrote I love you. I love you. I was 12 when I did that. I do it on every instrument I touch, and he writes this song I love you. I love you. And the first time we're together as a unit, he starts playing it. I'm hearing it. I'm like, wait. I know this song, and I just was like. I was like, I stopped everything. Like, we're going through this. Yeah, I was like, is this good? So I stop everything. I'm like, you gotta let me intro this one. I was like, I think this is my song too. And it's just like, it fit so perfectly. And it's like, it's a lot more challenging playing at the pace that he does, but it's like, it's the same music. We wrote it, miles apart, years, apart, and it just, bang. I mean, it's
Was that the first song you played?
I love you. The first
Like
song.
tonight,
Yeah.
was that the first one you
Yeah,
played?
first one.
Yeah, because I didn't get that one. It's just song one. Like I didn't get that.
Oh,
Dude.
okay, yeah. I love you.
Yeah, it's hard to remember to say the name of the songs. I need to make sure that people get a set list to me so that I know what's coming up next and put it in there, because it's kind of like, hey, what's the name of it? It's like having to do that, but I know I saw you brought a paper set list. I just didn't have a copy, so. But that was the first song you guys played.
It was.
So.
Yeah, I love that song.
It's
I
a
mean,
great, yeah.
It's a great intro song, gets people hyped, and like the lyrics are all. I'm a writer first.
It's tough for my fingers. That one, because it's a lot of movement.
Lot
That's
of
why
movement on
I
the
brought my
bass.
fingers and didn't put it on before that I sprayed while we
I
were
bled
playing.
all over your snare.
There's blood all over the snare case. It's like we beat
there's
ourselves up out
usually
here.
bloodshed or.
Oh, was that your snare that you brought?
Yeah,
Okay.
right.
Yeah, I didn't bleed on yours.
No, that's okay.
it's all
Blood,
good.
sweat, and tears.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'll have to clean it off if you did. So, the first time I saw you guys was at Fat and Power, probably that was
October?
Yeah, October time frame. I don't remember, it was early October, but that's when I'd seen Void Hidden there. I think Nailbite played.
Yeah.
Heroes for
Nailbite
Ransom was there.
These
So,
guys are awesome.
but yeah, I remember seeing you guys at that show, and then I caught you afterwards. I think it was just you and who was playing with you that day?
It was Eric and Matt, and those guys they're awesome musicians, man. Things just weren't linking up. I didn't think they were really into the genre of music, which was cool, but they really helped, but there's no negativity in anything I say about people, because they are like two of the best people in music that I've ever been worked with, and they've taught me so much. But I just think sometimes your heart's got to be in a little more, so but
You
yeah,
gotta
no.
share a drive. You have to share an end
Yeah.
goal, and there has to be a
And
shared drive.
they don't lack drive at all, but I just don't think that what I was trying to do or what I was trying to accomplish was for them. But again, like those guys are just awesome. They really helped me push forward, and again gave me more confidence and stuff. And it's just how the music world works, brother.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's nice that you had people to play for you that day. Obviously, you got musicians that you've synced up with now, and then so you get on a lot of bills, man. Like I've noticed, like you're on the Kennel next week. Like you were at Phantom Power, even with just an acoustic guitar. What are you doing differently that some other? What would you suggest? How do you get on a bill when you're talking to promoters, man? Because you seem tenacious as fuck. So
I'm gonna answer on his behalf. He's a musical door kicker. Like he just every person that he can sync up with, he's going to ask. It's like you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. He's the guy taking 100% of the shots.
This is why.
It's
This is
like-
why he
I
came into
asked-
my
oh, man,
house.
it's
It's
just
like,
like,
yeah,
hey,
you
I
gotta
asked
thank you.
for
Let's
open for
go.
Anthony Green. They didn't tell me no.
Right.
He didn't tell me no. He just didn't see my message. But like the thing when I do is like I try to stay as active as I can on social media, and I try to I guess like the proper word is intimate with people. Like I try to really get to know people, and I try to connect with people, and really try to get to know them, and show that I appreciate like and value them in like a lot of different aspects as like musicians, just humans, like everything. But yeah, I want this to work. This is what I want to do. I mean, like my career path, personal training, but like what I want to do the rest of my life is I want to do music, and the only way I'm going to do that is if I just push and keep pushing. Like that church show, like I was like, F it, I'm going for it. I'm asking them, see if they'll give me a chance.
Yeah, you shot me the message, and like I talked to you for like 3 minutes, and I was like, Reese, we gotta do something here. Like I like it. He has a lot of passion for this. It sounds good to me. I want to put him in, and that's we put you in as one of the open elements, and you guys are just fantastic. We've been connected ever since. So
I appreciate it, dude.
yeah,
A lot of
absolutely.
changes, but I think
Evolutions, man, evolutions.
I think this pair is the. I know this is the pair is gonna stick around, man.
We're a trio now.
Trio
Yeah,
evolution.
thank you. The trio that
I'm
sticks
just
around.
my only shout out today is
Alkaline Trio.
Alkaline
we're a trio
Trio.
now.
This
This is
is-
Matt
Well,
Van,
my shout's
Derek.
Void Hidden. I got their shirt on.
Oh, boy, did
Like, So I mean I
Guys,
think it's
rule.
cool like that we rep like bands that we appreciate, like you got Alkaline Trio, or you know I've got a lot of Coheed and Cambria
Love
because
those
I like
guys.
those guys, but like really though we're like in a local scene, like, and I think I talked about this with Void Hidden, like when you're out playing with other bands, like scenes don't happen in a fucking bubble. Like if each band is like just supporting on their own, and one band shows up with the Rage Against the Machine t-shirt and that's all they're wearing, and then another guy has Nirvana. Like, why are we wearing? We need to be wearing Void Hidden. We need to be wearing Defiant. We need to be wearing Burn to Kill gear, because that's what they did in Seattle when we had when grunge
bring the
music,
power
man.
to the scene.
Like, we need to be repping each other, not just like
Yes.
hoping that our social media is gonna get us, because that is not gonna happen in this day and age. Yeah, maybe your social media might have got
Oh,
you
it's one
somewhere
in a
when
million.
Facebook first came out in like 2008, or YouTube first came out in 2004. This is 2022, man. Everybody got YouTube. Everybody got Facebook. Everybody got Instagram. So
market's saturated.
the market is absolutely
Right.
saturated. So what local bands in this area do you listen to when you're not on stage with them?
Lyndhurst.
Lyndhurst.
Lyndhurst is probably the number one local band I listen to, and that's also the reason too. Is like actually I didn't really know. I saw Ed on Facebook all the time. We became Facebook friends, and this is when I was playing like open mics, and I went out and did an open mic.
No,
and
Ed is. What does he do in the band?
Ed Allison. He's lead guitar. He's
Lead guitarist.
No, he's one of the lead.
He's lead vocal too
Lead
for
vocals.
Lyndhurst.
Yes, and his
okay.
voice is incredible.
Lead vocals.
Love you, Ed. You're awesome. But he found me playing at this really shitty bar called. This really shitty bar. It's kind of a dive bar, and I was just doing open mics. I was going anywhere just trying to play to get my voice out there. And after the set, after I got done playing my 3 songs, he comes up to me and goes, "Hey, do you have a band?" I'm like, "I just started like a band." He goes, "Well, could you be ready by May?" And I was like, "Yeah." So like, I ended up doing our second show with Lyndhurst. We played at the oh my gosh, the Sherman's Creek Inn. But like we were only predicting to just play for that show.
Yeah.
And then the church show happened. But Lyndhurst is awesome. Love you, Ed, and love all the guys. Mark Caruso, he's awesome, and all the other guys in the band too. I love Blind Accuracy. Coal State. Coal State is so unique and different.
They're really good stuff.
They are
Yeah,
really good.
I've been listening to Coal State and Lyndhurst, obviously. I mean, they're great bands. But,
The new Lyndhurst album is awesome.
I grew
It is
up with
awesome.
Luke Foley, local guy that was in the project Farewell Flight. I knew all those guys really well. I mean, I went to I never missed a show of theirs. Now he is big shout out to Luke. I mean, he's one of my biggest inspirations. He's a year older than me, and was just always ready to educate and help out and let me be a part of the team. It's like I never missed anything. He's doing a solo project that is amazing. He changed his name to just Luker, Lukr, and they moved down to Tennessee, Nashville area, and him, Jordan Davis of the old King's Foil. Frankie Muniz was the drummer in King's
Okay.
Foil. I grew up with those
Obsessed
guys.
them. She was like their
Frankie Muniz?
He was, I kid you not, was the
Malcolm in the Middle.
yes,
Yeah,
Frankie
yeah,
Muniz was,
it's
kid you not, a local guy. Jordan Davis was the lead singer and guitarist in that band, and it's like they were. Farewell Flight, those guys, back when the Radisson used to host the Millennium Music Fest every single year before they broke it up into like 20 venues. Oh, I'm hitting boards.
Yeah, I probably need to tape those. Save Jason to show up.
I'm a flight risk with anything.
Yeah,
that's-
no, it's on me. I probably need to tape those to the wall, but I haven't got around to
But
it
yeah,
yet.
it's like he's still putting out. Now he had the baby and slowed down a little bit. He put something out a couple months ago, and it's just like he just a genuine good dude. Really, that comes up, because he's from around here to play shows as often as he could. I was in really bad shape a few years, maybe last year, because of the injuries I sustained, and the venue, the 2021 or whoever it took, because Chameleon closed. There's another
Tell us 360.
Those
Yes.
guys, I have to give them the most heartfelt shout out. I Google reviewed them. They brought me in a handicap entrance. They had to get the foods on different floors. They brought it to me. They got me a chair to sit in so that I could be there for Luke. It's like they even had a ramp access bathroom just so that they helped me from start to finish.
Above and
it was
beyond,
like,
man.
they went out of their way to make
That's
sure that
awesome.
all I did was I sent the owner an email. I said my best friend's coming up to do the show. I said I'm not walking well. I said I'm all messed up. I said, do you have elevators or anything? He's like, no, but he's like, we'll get you in and we'll take care of you. And they absolutely stuck to their word. It's a wonderful
that's
venue.
awesome.
It's like it's sad not having Chameleon anymore, but that tell us.
No, Tellus is great. I was out there playing with for Extra Give campaign, so they host fundraisers there, and that was a pretty good deal because I played with Ever Sandoval, who's Nelson, who plays in my the Robison band.
Okay,
yeah.
okay.
So like kind of our house band. They're good friends. Well, now because they both immigrated from Peru, but he works for CWS, which is Church World Services, I think, and they help bring refugees into America to immigrate legally.
That's awesome.
And that was a great experience for me. But like the fact that Tellus 360 hosts those kind of things there is, really. I mean, it speaks a lot about them.
It's really nice to have that kind of local. It's like the local circuit I thought was gonna crash and burn when we lost Chameleon. We had we have HMAC. We just didn't have the venues. It's like they were fading. Chameleon or not Chameleon. I keep saying Chameleon. What was the one that we went to in Campbell or Lemoyne? The championship.
Oh, championship.
It's like we
So
grew
hard.
up there.
How
It's like
bad? It's like
from
3 times.
the little corner slot
We probably all crossed
down to
paths
the little
'cause I was there
danger
back in the
danger
day.
warehouse. It's like,
back
oh
at that
man,
dirt
this is
road with the
boy.
trees.
That
Yeah,
was
go
a
to the-
different. That's when I felt like local music also was like thriving because I mean you had August Burns Red.
Right.
I mean like they were like coming up, and then you had King's Foil
Kings-
was there
Kings
every
Foil,
month.
the Tide would come out from Grand Rapids.
What's
and
Derek's
play-
band? Derek's band?
Oh, Fight from the Kid. Fight from the Kid.
Kid.
I mean, we
Almost
were
Now,
broke.
these are all bands that aren't around anymore. Or?
now they've dissolved into something else. I think Jason Kingsfoil, Jordan is
He's doing
doing
his
a
own stuff
support
now.
staff. It's actually like it's cool. It's like a hip hop, electric. His voice, like it's the coolest mix of things, and it's like even though it's not Harrisburg local, it's like he's from here. He comes back, he does those shows for us. It's like and now that we're growing venues, with the old Friendship Fire Company the other night. It's really nice for a nice little set. It's like we had no issues there. It was great.
It's funny, it's like, again, go to these small places, check out these up-and-coming bands. One of the wildest things I ever heard about the Champ was that now superstars in the metalcore world, Ice Nine Kills,
Yeah,
used
Ice
to
Nine
play
Kills.
Play there. I
They
bet
used to
I-
come
we
down and
used to
play the
just
Champ,
hang out
and
there.
now they're like the metal
And,
band in
like
America.
Black Dahlia Murder used to play there too.
Yeah,
The original Black
Go,
Dahlia Murder, they
go
played there.
check out these small
That's
places
it,
and
it's-
these small acts that are
You
coming
touched
up.
on it earlier. It's like the internet. It's like we're at capacity. It's like but the people Carson the other day. It's like she needs noticed. How does she
She's
get noticed?
so-
Us guys that know the other guys that know the other guys. It's like we don't need the social media to
She-
get it there.
She's so fantastic
Oh my
too.
God,
She's
wonderful.
incredible. Also, if you're on Carson, happy birthday! I know you just turned 18
Happy
here
birthday.
recently.
Yeah,
like a week
it was
or
so
two
awesome
ago.
playing with you,
Yeah,
So
dude.
happy birthday
We gotta
to
do it again.
Carson.
Listen. When you're famous, I got a picture with you. I'm selling it.
Dude,
Like,
yeah,
there it
she's
is.
like,
There
I
it
was
is.
like,
We're on that camera right now.
Ah,
I know,
yeah,
there's not a monitor, but, and this one's missing the monitor.
So yeah, Carson, happy birthday.
So
yes,
good.
I mean, it was, but that's like we don't. The social media is great. It's like you have a great set, put it up on Facebook, fine. But it's like what we as musicians that come from the local secret has to do is just work our way up with the other guy. Support that other guy because if they get there, they're gonna remember that you got them there by the support. It's a team effort.
Well, and like you said, the internet is pretty much at capacity now, right? Like everybody, it's like hard to like weed through the minutia and find things. The thing that's been missing from music for at least the last 15 years is that there's nothing like MTV anymore. Like you're just expect to find it all on your own on Instagram and scroll through their reels, or TikTok and scroll through your TikToks to find the next thing. But that's not going to build a scene. I mean, that's why I'm doing this, is because I want to get like the music and the scene out there away from this area so that other people outside the area can see it. I mean, that's what MTV did. That's how you were able to bring, movements like the grunge movement, or even like the hip hop movement, new metal in the late '90s.
Oh yeah.
Like you just don't do it anymore. It just doesn't work the same
We're bringing
way.
Midwest
Put an
even
eye on what's going on here. Put an eye on what actually is going on in this area. Like there's so much happening. Like you guys have said, like some of your local favorites. I know we're working our way over to you and Angie as well. Like
What are your favorite local bands?
like
Nailbite?
some local.
Nailbite.
Nailbite.
That's
Nailbite
what I
show.
said. Yeah.
I love Nailbite. I just think they're great. I really do.
They're really
I just
passionate.
can't believe
They're
we got
really
to open for them
passionate
once.
group.
Like we got to open for them once as like a charity event, but like it was still like freaking awesome. Like they just got done playing at like was it the Louder Than Life Festival or whatever.
They've played
Oh, yeah.
every
Sorry.
one this year. Like Incarceration,
Yeah,
Louder Than
but
Life.
like it was after incarceration. We got to play with them, and it was like they just like welcomed us with open arms and like, yeah, get on the set, dude, play. Like oh my god, John is one of the best dudes around. Like if you ever need help connecting with people, dude, like hit him up.
John and Lisa.
John and Lisa,
Yes.
they are so good. They're such good people, and what they're doing for music again in this area too is awesome.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we played with them last August actually at the VFW in Ephrata, I think, or
Nice.
AMVETS, American Legion. It was the American Legion.
Okay.
We played with them. Cole was there.
Oh, Cole's good.
Yeah,
too.
Um,
Play with them, too.
Trying to think who else was on that
Whoops.
set. But anyway, I played with them last year. We were actually supposed to play with them the year before in 2020, but everything got closed, so
The
we
guy from
missed
West
that one.
Virginia. What was his piece called?
Wait, what was?
That at the firehouse. There was the Carson he played, and then there was the band that
Oh,
played.
Cabal.
No,
Cabal's
the other one.
Cabal. Shout out to him. He's like putting
Yeah,
all the
Cabal,
stuff together.
yeah.
But there was I knew there was
I'm the worst with
there was
names.
the Stone Eye that played,
It was the other one.
Love
and
those
then there
dudes.
was
$2 horse.
$2 horse.
No, there was one more.
$2 horse.
$2
Horse?
horse. $2 horse.
Horse.
Like
Horse.
Horse.
Yeah,
Horse.
riding the
There's
horse.
an S
Okay.
in there. There's an S in
There's an
there.
S.
There was
and
he
then
was
there was
he
the,
was from West Virginia. I thought it started with an A.
Oh my gosh,
I know,
I feel terrible because those guys were great. But
What,
they
and
come up
that's,
from
as soon as I
Virginia.
remember their name, yeah, he came up from Virginia. I go outside, I'm like, hey, you look familiar. He's like, well, I'm from West Virginia. I was like, no. I was like, my family's from Syracuse. I was like, he's like, Ithaca Underground? I'm like, no way. It's like they're a piece that has been played. They played it at Underground where we're up there. It's like the behind the scene guys have fun too. And it's like we like to meet people. And it's just like,
Yeah, that's why
as
I
soon as
love
I remember the
horse.
name, I'm gonna be so sad.
Yeah.
They're such a great act.
Weatherworn.
No, but
Weatherworn. That's it.
Weatherworn from Virginia.
From Virginia, that's
From
right.
Virginia.
Yes,
Yeah,
came up,
Weatherworn.
that was one of our shows, Effigy Entertainment. That was one of our back up there in
Was that
Carlisle.
the 19th?
Yes, with Carlisle and everything, with Carson, these guys.
Yeah.
Yeah. The Weatherworn then made the trip up
Oh,
from
yeah,
Virginia
Weatherworn.
on their
To
tour.
go to
We just kind of slid them in as part of the lineup, so they end up with as a part of everything. And
It's like I just saw. I was like, man, I've seen this somewhere. And it's like I've been to Ithaca Underground, every other year since I was old enough to do that kind of thing. And they just.
Oh
I was
God.
gonna say it's not me.
Somebody's beeping.
That's
That's
not me.
okay. Don't answer the phone call.
There's no phone. It's not even a phone call.
It's alarm?
It's alarm at
It's like
6:39.
I got 20 minutes. So
That
yeah.
has to be a kid.
Well, we don't have a ton of time because you got to be out of here close to
I
7.
live like 8 minutes.
Yeah.
7:30. You're cool though, man.
Yeah. I don't want you to get in trouble,
Dude,
man.
you're
Like
good, man.
one thing about freaking doing music in your 40s is you've got a lot of responsibilities beyond just playing music. It's a lot easier when I was 20 and I could just go play
Dude,
wherever I
I'm so
wanted.
grateful for Jenny,
But-
man. She's the best.
Wonderful
She
human saved the day.
she pushes me to do music, man, and supports me and understands, and it's awesome having that partner, man.
Yeah, so you wrote clearly some songs about her. Which songs are about her? Which ones were for her specifically?
So Soul Finder is actually it's really weird because I wrote that song like a few months before I met her, like 6 months before I met her. I wrote a song and it was just a song that was entitled for like someone that I want to be with for the rest of my life, and yeah, it came out of me, and then I met Jenny, and then it was like, sorry, I get emotional. I'm a sad boy sometimes. I get like really in my feels, you know. No.
This is why we're
But,
friends, man. Because we
yeah,
both.
dude,
I
I love
get
it,
it. I
dude.
get you.
But yeah, man, but, like it's just it was so weird how like the song is synced up. Like I'm talking about like you know I want to be a good dad, I want to be a good person, like a good man, you know, support you and stuff, and like it's just there's a thing to really strive on with that too. But 8 weeks is about a up and down thing with this girl I met.
But not about Jenny.
Nope.
Okay. So is there another song you wrote for Jenny? Before we move on to the other songs.
She whispers actually is actually about Jenny as like coming from like someone who's been through a lot and supports the other people, and I felt like it was the time to write like one of those type of songs about her. Like I don't know, it's just like you know, especially when you're feeling like wherever I'm feeling down and stuff, she always picks me up and stuff, and that's just like the chorus is really all about that, and then just kind of rolling through life together. And then Three Wishes is about someone else, but
Well, let's talk about. So I wanted you to talk about Jeans because that one was that's a pretty sweet song, man. I actually was really enjoying that one. I mean, I enjoyed every song you played, but some people have better songs. Like
It's a good hook. It's a good
everybody
hook,
has
yeah.
one song that's better or 3 songs that's better than the other ones. I thought Jeans was probably one of the best ones that I heard you play tonight. So what's that song about? Like, what's your favorite lyric in the song, man?
So I mean, honestly, it's kind of like about like when you're like single and you're like looking at other, man. I'm not that type of person. Just let that. But like you're looking at other girls, you know, you're spectating and stuff, and then you find one that has a really nice pair of jeans on, if you know what I mean. So
That's the one you want to
It was
approach.
just-
That's the one you want to
We call
approach.
it iDating.
and actually, when we wrote that song, we were like, when I wrote that song, I was pretty intoxicated too. So like, and then I went to practice the next day with the guys, and I was like, "Yo, what do you think of this riff?" And they're like, "Oh shit!" And then bam, we got jeans, and it's just catchy and
It's good. It's good hook to it too, and it's fun. It's got a really vibey song. Like
yeah.
There's a
So
natural
what's
honesty to it.
what's your favorite lyric in that song?
Oh, I see you walking down the street in those tight jeans, and I'm a little curious about you. I try to say that's like probably my favorite part, and then the other parts is just kind of like how you are engaging with other females.
So Jeans, it's Jeans.
Yeah, jeans. Yeah.
jean shopping.
Naturally,
That's what
they
it-
have
So
good
isn't
jeans
that all
and good jeans.
isn't
We
that all
appreciate a good
inspired
pair
by
of
like
jeans, don't we?
ZZ Top's legs? She got legs.
Yeah,
So they're
Let's
kind of-
go.
but jeans this time. So fully covered in jeans. All right.
Yes.
Jean shopping. That's what we're gonna call it. It's gonna keep it real low key.
Jean-
I'm
jean-
going
jean-
jean
jean-
shopping.
There's some about skinny jeans.
In all honesty, I mean, the woman I spent 4 years with, and she had obligations elsewhere, and we separated amicably and were friendly. It's like that's the reason I talked to her initially. It's like I kept that to myself for a long time, but I eventually got up the courage to be like, listen, you walked up the stairs one time. You know what I mean? It's like that's a good song that makes sense with the. It was the jeans. It's like you can't help but look.
It is a
I
it
saw
is-
you on
it
the
is just
steps
a
and it was
really
a
fun
stairway
song.
to heaven.
Right. You tell, yeah, exactly. I was like, I'm gonna take the elevator because
I'm gonna take the elevator.
See
though,
ya.
but yeah.
Now there is a part to that song that we're gonna put back in where it's kind of how we kind of like turn some heads a bit, but it's like this kind of this remix at the end. It's like check 1 with the bass, check 2 with the drums, check 3 with the microphone, and then we kind of like jam for a little bit, then we go back into
I
it.
like, when you gotta get that back in there because that's just, it sets a whole nice little breakdown in the middle of the
Yes.
song and it's awesome. I love seeing when you guys were doing that. Definitely adds a whole nother component to the song then too.
Yeah, I
Kind of
definitely.
jazzes it up a little, you
Oh,
know?
dude, 100%. Like, and I definitely want to create more space in songs and stuff too. It's like, and we're gonna get back to that point too. Like, we're very close. It's just a matter of
Absolutely,
time.
absolutely.
I think we're on the brink.
What is your favorite song of all the ones that you played that we haven't talked about?
Personally, for me, I would probably I say this all the time, and Angie over here will tell you, Three Wishes is my favorite song to play. It's saying I just love the vibe of it. It gives you that true '90s feeling to it. It's got good lyrics again. It's got a very catchy progression, and then like the chorus. I really like the chorus and how it goes through and how it fits in like a poem. So like that's probably my favorite song. Three Wishes. delicious.
So you said you like the lyrics. What's the best lyric in that one for you?
For me, let's hold on. Let's wait for a minute. Oh God, oh my God,
Yeah.
it's so funny. Like you say it out loud. Let's hold on. Let's wait for a minute. Everything in this universe is so much brighter with you in it. I don't know. I think it's like.
It's a super
Poetic,
dope
you know?
line. Like it's one of those hook, line, and sinker kind of lines. So.
Yeah. So you don't have anything up on Spotify yet, right? Like you don't have anything up for people to listen to. You said you had a Bandcamp.
We have a band camp. It's just like raw demos, a lot of acoustic stuff on there, and then there's some stuff with tons of different musicians that work for like 8 weeks. It's like with guys from the Spiders HPG. They helped me work that out, and then Soul Finder was actually with my buddy Danny Joseph. Shout out to you, man. Love you, bro. He would host these jam sessions with like 15 musicians. We go out there and we would all just get together and just write music and stuff. And like
Where was this at?
it was in Edders.
Edders. So it was at his house.
It was at his house,
Okay.
and it was literally like in the mountains, dude. It was so freaking cold. You go there at night, it was like so cold. But like we'd go out there and like write and stuff. But it was good times. I lost my train of thought. Sorry.
What you were
No,
saying
that's all right,
with the Spotify, I'm working to remedy that as quickly as possible. That's my end of music had been for the past couple of years. I go back to Blind Accuracy. Austin Weaver, the drummer of a number of projects in our area, is the owner and founder of the studio at the Spot in Mechanicsburg, and shout out, we're looking for assistance. I'm going to put an interface system in. We're going to try and get bands in there to record. I mix and master. It's like we're trying to.
So you have a studio to mix.
We do. It's a beautiful studio. We're looking to build it up.
Lost my train of thought. I got it back. But we'd go out there and we would record, and like the first song I ever really recorded was Soul Finder, and it's like it was like mixed and mastered, and there's a video up on YouTube. It's probably like my only song that I really truly have out. Haven't posted it on YouTube, but it was done beautifully, and every guy that was in there, it was the first time I met them.
Dan wants to know where you can buy merch.
So, merch is. So we actually had a bunch of shirts and stuff made, and we're just honestly right now we're just kind of like restocking.
I'm the same thing. Again, shout out to Austin Weaver. Does all the screen printing and all that stuff right in his basement. So it's like I'm just as good of a friend he is to me. We've done favors for one another in each direction. We're going to be working to get it up. I do websites and stuff, so it's like I'm more than likely will have one of the linksies that'll take you to every single one of the places you can get that stuff. He's got a really good design that I'm going to get on as many shirts as we can get.
Do you guys actually
The
like?
next couple of
Question. Do you guys actually like our? Do you like our logo? Do you think our logo's cool?
Yeah, I think that I like that though, like because it's Burden of Guilt. And I think it's kind of like gives you
Yeah.
the impression like it's to me
Yeah.
like I see like the chain.
Right,
like,
that's what, right. It's like your burden.
Yeah, you are inverted.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
I don't really see any logos that suck, but I'm kind of blind to that kind of thing. I like it just like
She's
whatever
the artist.
whatever the band decides their logo should be is just what the band's logo is.
I mean, like maybe it's like people should also go to the kennel on the 17th. Maybe go check out what
Yeah,
you guys have.
definitely.
Like, go talk to you in person. Go make some
I'm
content.
not-
I will make sure we'll have stuff for the
We're
at the
gonna
kennel.
we're
So
gonna
go
have
to the
some-
kennel.
we're
Go to the
gonna have
kennel
some
on the
shirts
17th.
available for that show.
Potentially hats.
So I don't want to so on to the merch thing. You had said something earlier about some of the venues around here trying to take a cut of the merch in there. You don't have to name venues. I'm just curious about this, like, because I'd never heard of this before.
I'd mentioned this earlier too about there's some venues
Yes.
doing this 20%
I've
of your
never
merch
heard
Yes.
sales cut.
Yes, that's a real thing, and like I know venues want to try to make their money, but like that's really a lot of time how musicians do make their income.
That's what I was saying to him. Like a lot of time, that is it. That might be all you walk out of a venue with is if you've sold some shirts or sold some
Or
CDs.
stickers. They're going to take 20% of my $1 sticker
Yeah, I
sales.
mean, like, oh man,
Yeah.
Are you guys coming at me for 20 cents? Because we can go.
come on, man. Like, it's hard enough to get
Wow,
by. and get
I
paid.
didn't actually hear that. This is news
Yeah,
to
this-
me.
I heard- I just-
Listen,
I
I will
heard
start
this
that
today.
fire right now.
But I mean, like that was literally it. Like that's all you got as an original music artist. We already don't make any money, and now venues are trying to take the merchandise. a percentage of the merchandising too.
I sold one sticker
Like
tonight.
what? How would they know though? Like
Precisely.
Like, how would they know? And, like, it's just like taxes. They can't get you if you just barter it. So if I just show up with a shirt and trade you,
Exactly, yeah.
Can we just trade shirts?
There are
Oh,
some
20%
major
of
bands-
what?
Yeah.
There is some major bands taking stands against us. I saw, I forget his name, lead singer Bad Omens did a public address about
I'm
this.
taking a stand
Yeah.
right now.
Yeah. And
It's
he's
understood.
like, we're not doing that. We're
Standing
not
up
doing
pay to
that.
play,
This is
though,
literally
too.
our lifeblood,
Like,
actually.
Pay to
at
Play's
this
the same
point.
way.
Yeah. Because, I mean, it's just so hard to make money in original music. I've never made more than a couple $100, really. Like, after you put your gas in and your whatever you drank at the bar or whatever else.
It's not
So-
cheap.
Yeah.
Good example, the Kennel. They always take care of musicians. Drink for free, well, beer at least. And then, like, they should make sure you feel home and, the food's good and stuff. But, like, we need more places like that, man.
I
And
intend to get over
they
there
actually
too.
pay you. And they
I've
actually
not been over there yet.
They actually pay you, man.
Well, how do you get? What do you think your opinion is getting people out to the shows? Because like a lot of people haven't been coming back after COVID, or they got onto something else. What is your opinion on that? Like, how do you get people to come back to the Kennel and to Phantom Power and?
I'm gonna jump in front of Josh on this one. It's the old school ticket push where you hand the band 60 tickets and you say, get your people out here. It's like, I'm making my mom come, and it's like,
I've seen kids. I've seen kids at shows now because I mean, like,
precisely.
All
my
ages
mom-
is
all
happening. Yeah,
ages.
all
It's
ages.
like
All
every-
ages, 21 to drink
Every
in
single
the
one of
summer.
these shows coming up, it's like I want an actual piece of paper
I think it's
ticket
so awesome.
that somebody rips at a door, and I'm gonna sell it to every single one of my friends. And if I have to shake it down or ask them nicely, it's one of the two is gonna happen. You're coming to the show. I need the money. They need the venue.
very
It's like
convincing.
we've got to do this. It's like
Yeah.
I think
It's
that's
hard
how
to
you
get
get
it
people
in.
back. It's not throwing it all Ticketmaster with their little scan codes and 17
I
ways to
forget
not
Ticketmaster
screenshot it.
anyhow and all the
Yeah,
outrageous
it's
things
like,
going
no,
on with them.
keep-
Give me a piece of paper.
I mean, honestly, there was a show up at the XL Live that I wanted to go to last night. I mean, I couldn't end up. I had other obligations. Anyway, I was actually
That's
working on
Defiant, yeah.
putting this stuff back
Yeah.
over, but Defiant was there.
With the Eternal Frequency,
yeah,
every,
yeah.
Light the Lamp.
Yeah, there was a bunch of bands. Observe the 93rd was there.
Yes.
too.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's
I wanted to go and
Yeah.
see it,
Derek,
but then when I get on there and they're like Ticketmaster only, and then they're taking as much as another ticket. Like actually, I was gonna buy 2 tickets, one for me, one for my wife, and by the time I paid for that, it was actually more in fees than it was for one more ticket. Like I could have brought a third person for the ticket fees.
With all that stuff too, with Ticketmaster, there's a whole lot going on nowadays with like
Yep.
the ridiculousness from Blink-182 to
The
now the
scalping,
Taylor Swift
too.
thing that happened. Like you're paying $300 or something for one ticket, but you can go and you can see 30 local band shows for $300. You can go spend the $300 and see songs that you've heard a million times, or you could spend $10 and go check out the club
Something
down
new.
the street
Find
and
something
maybe
that you like.
discover
Yeah.
something that blows your mind that you've never heard anything like before. Take that opportunity.
Yeah,
I agree with you.
absolutely. Well, and like, music is like one of those things that you hear enough of the same song and it gets stuck in your head, even if it's a crappy song. Like, how many times did we listen to the Macarena when I was in high
Call me
school?
maybe. It's my
Or
favorite song.
Make it
Freaking-
stop!
Freaking My Heart
He
Will
wants
Go
to do a
On,
cover.
and they
I
were
wanted
the
to
most
Call Me Maybe
popular.
so bad in
You
this
really
band. I
don't.
Call Me
wanted-
Maybe.
Or fuck
I
Christmas
love
too,
that.
yeah,
So
like-
Carly Rae, if you're listening,
Okay, that.
call me maybe. Like, it's,
Call Me
oh, man.
Maybe.
I want to do it with. I want to like do
I-
a duet with her.
I had just got
Do
out
a
of
cover
college
of it.
when
Do a
that song
cover.
had come out, like not long after that song came out. Maybe I was still in college when it came out, but I was like, I don't know, this is just on all the time.
Every day it played
Yeah.
40 times on the radio. I
Yeah,
couldn't get away from
easily.
it. And then I was like,
Yeah.
well, I'm just going to love it. It's fine.
3
Chandelier.
times an hour at least.
Sia's Chandelier was another one that I didn't even know what she was saying. I would just sing Chandelier.
Yeah, I didn't know what it was.
I don't
I'm
even
so
know that
okay with
song,
that.
I
Somewhere
hate
around the
the
time that one
radio.
came out, I stopped
Oh,
listening to
stop.
the radio.
That just made sounds.
Yeah,
I don't know if she's saying
Yeah, it was
anything,
great.
Actually, but,
You know?
okay.
But
Fine.
speaking of like, I saw the early November, last October, for $30,
Yeah.
and I got to hang out and meet with them. And instead, and then you have like, that's a band that's underappreciated in my opinion. Like, drove the emo pop punk movement.
Yeah,
Ace Enders
I mean,
are huge, but like,
absolutely.
it's like
Yeah, it's weird where some of these bands that we grew up and they did set a foundation and they did set like what became something that we all grew on musically are playing at places you wouldn't even expect.
oh dude,
Monday,
it's crazy.
Monday night, Phantom Power coming up Thursday. I grew up listening to Thursday religiously.
Oh,
An-
yeah,
Anthony
we got
Green,
Thursday's
baby.
playing
Yeah,
at Phantom
He's gonna
Tower
be there
on
again.
this Monday.
Who's open? Who's local bands opening for Thursday there?
I believe they do have someone. I think
There's
they put
one
in as
band.
a local.
One band
I
playing?
believe.
I wish, dude.
Because Thursday's going to play their entire one album, and that's
Okay.
their set. They're
No,
playing
that's cool.
Their entire
I
full
heard
collapse.
Thursday
I
is
love
so
front to
different.
back
It's
albums.
like
Full
it's,
collapse is being played
it's
in
like
its entirety.
speeding-
I was at night 3 of the
cars.
Neverender.
So-
rock.
Wait,
Yeah.
Neverender.
I was at night 3 of the Neverender up in
Oh
there.
yeah, I did Second Stage Turbine Blade.
You
Brave
get-
the
oh,
Twin
man,
Tenure.
That's what I wanted.
Man, it was, dude, that thing was so awesome. It was like 3 hours of nothing but Coheed.
Oh, I got to
Best
meet them
freaking
in
show
Germany. It
ever,
was
dude.
incredible. Claudio
Yeah.
Sanchez, he
How can
actually
you play for 3
old
hours?
school local band, Movies with Heroes. I think they had 14. They called them the Legion of Guitarists. It was a drummer and a
Yes,
bassist,
dude.
and they just had
We'll figure it out.
rotational guitars. But they were awesome, and I still have their original album. But it's like they did an acoustic set open for Claudio Sanchez. That's the first time I met him in Lancaster. It's just like, and another. It's just like.
So that was the local band that opened.
That was
for
the local
Coheed?
band, and it's like I can't find anything on them anymore. But it's like that was the inspiration to keep doing this. It's like they've all moved on to different lives, but it's like everybody still listens to music. It's like what
Yeah.
do you do all day,
Yeah.
every day? You
Well,
drive somewhere, you're listening to music.
And I listen to local music all day, every
Yep,
day. Like
that's-
in trying to do these live streams with the bands, like if I don't know what music you're playing, and I mean I didn't know as much as because you don't have anything up for me to listen to. But I mean I've seen you play live. But like I've been listening to Lyndhurst, I listen to Powder Keg Culture, I listen to Defiant, I listen to Cold State, I've been listening to the Stone Eye. Like anybody that wants to come on my program, I promise you I'm listening to your freaking music all day, every day. Like I told Doug Ruckel from Powder Keg Culture a message. I said I just leave it on all day and then I pause it when I get on the phone. If I'm not using my phone, it's just playing Apple Music and it's playing that playlist that's got all you guys in it. Cause I mean, and that's how you like get the songs in your head. I have local music stuck in my head now because I'm not listening to the stuff that that's everybody listens to nowadays. But we got to be more supportive of each other, and that's why like if you come on my program, I'm gonna be asking you what bands are you listening to right now? What's your favorite songs by them? Like we need to have a scene that we're actually supportive of each other. I know everybody hears each other play when they go out. We have people coming to see us, but like it's really it's a whole thing. Like
I feel like
the
I'm
scene has to be
seeing it.
together.
I'm seeing the groundwork
That's
lay
it.
a lot
It's
more
like-
in the past like year, 2 years now. I see a lot of people finally starting to. We gotta work as a
It's a
thing.
team.
This
It's
is
a
a
link.
community
You got
now.
the link.
This is
Corey of Blind Accuracy. Every time I'm at a show, they let me come up and do 2 or 3 of their songs just because we have a good time. We've been friends. We do it. The band's all okay with it. It's like no way, Jose. It's like you said,
No
listening
way.
to your local your songs. There's a band, the Stonewall Vessels. I'm gonna mess this up.
Oh
there.
my
There's
God.
So
Josh, my boy
incredible.
Josh.
Lead-
God
lead
bless him.
singer
He's
and
out
I-
in California
yeah,
though
he's-
now,
lead
so
singer and I
hopefully
look
well.
the same. And I told him, I was like, we gotta go.
That
we gotta
band.
do a show. We gotta shut it. They do a Wake Forest. This wonderful song. And I said, at some point we're gonna wear the same outfit, same glasses, everything. I said we're
You
gonna
do
shut
look
the
like-
lights
you
off.
do
We
look
do.
Darius.
Darius and I.
You do look like
he's
him.
shorter. I'm wider. And it's like, but we are the same colored people. And I said we're gonna shut all the lights off in the venue. I said you're just gonna walk away, and we're gonna turn them all back on. I'm gonna be there, and
And
people are
just see
gonna
who
not know
catches
what
on.
happened. It's like I'm
They're
telling
not
you
gonna
all
know the
now.
difference.
Maybe like
Don't
three
listen
people
because they're all gonna be
confused,
drinking.
like,
They're gonna be like, wait, that guy got
wait,
bigger
wait.
fast. And it's like, he's a much better vocalist than I am. I'm not a bad vocalist. I'm not the best
Voice is
vocalist, but it's
crazy.
like, oh man, he can rip.
He
He's a-
licks the
he's
microphone.
a Howie. He's
Dude,
a,
he licks the microphone, crawls on stage.
Oh, he's a showman.
I had the funniest interaction the first time I ever met him. We were at Club XL, and I'm sitting out there by the fire. I'm pretty intoxicated. He sits down next to me and goes, "What are we even doing here? Where are we going?
my boy.
Where are all the women?"
Oh, I
like,
love that band.
it was just him and I outside. Like there was no one else. He's like, where? Like it was just so funny. But then I just go on and talk to him. But that's the stuff I love, man.
They do all those festivals too. It's like as much as it's like we can go to these venues and stuff. There's a lot of these like as far out as Halifax is from here. It's like they just go up there and play music for
Play
an
wherever
entire
you can play,
weekend.
just
I mean,
they're
they bring
banging
15,
away.
20 bands in that are actually really good project bands, and they're you got guitarists jumping onto the next band circuit, and it's just like it's a good time. It's about the
Well,
community.
I challenge all of you, all 4 of you here, make a local freaking playlist. We're gonna start putting Spotify playlists up here pretty soon. I've already got one put together with my tops, like one song from each band. But I mean, I have a playlist thing with like 50 songs in it, and they just play on repeat all day on shuffle. And like that's so important. And like I played through Apple because they actually pay artists more. It's still a pittance. It's less than a penny. It's less than 1%. I think it's 1% of a penny per stream or some dumb shit.
It's
But
a ridiculous.
It's a ridiculously low amount, but like I promise you, like each one of you bands, go look at your Apple Music highlights. If you see freaking people from Lancaster playing it, you've got hundreds of plays. That's all fucking me. Like I'm not even freaking joking, man. I'm just
My
sitting,
boy.
like I'm just sitting here. I'm telling you, go look. You'll
All
see.
day,
I
every
hope
day.
it tells you Lidditz because that's where I'm at, and that would like further pinpoint it.
All day,
But I promise
every
you,
day.
all day, every day, I'm playing local playlists.
Yep.
All day, every day.
I went back of those older bands. Safari So Good was the owner of the Championships band.
Yes.
I still to this day I have it's called Casey's Classic Playlist, and it's just local bands that I love. It was Farewell Flight. It was Safari So Good. It was The Tide. It was all those guys, and it's like, but I did it. I'm doing it with I'm building my current. Like up and comers, I have Corey, Cold State Blind Accuracy. I have the Stonewall Vessels. I have what was that the other guy that played in Josh? What was the other thing that he did?
Oh my.
That was Medusa's
Medusa Disco.
Medusa Disco.
Yeah, because
know. Living in Tennessee.
Dude, I like that name.
I saw
Medusa
them.
Disco.
I saw them when
Like,
he
could
was
you imagine if she looked into a disco ball? Everybody turned to
Yes!
stone.
That's what I
Medusa
said.
Disco was a full
I remember when they
vibe,
were
too.
called
They're-
Seeds. I saw them open for Red Jumpsuit Apparatus.
Yeah, that was their big one. That was where I met them for the first
They're
time.
not even-
What the heck? When was
They,
that?
so they were opening
This
local.
was
was-
what was that freaking place?
It wasn't
You know,
Crockett.
I saw
That's
Master Ace there too, because
Uh.
like I love the Cunning Linguist. So like I mean like I don't really listen to hip hop, but like I love original hip hop. But like I saw Master Ace, like hip hop legend there.
What was it
Crazy
called?
show.
I can't remember. I know I was there. I can't remember.
Yeah, I forgot about that. Stonewall Vessels and Medusa's Disco
Yeah,
always played. You
always
got
played
one,
it,
you got
yeah.
both of
That's
them.
exactly-
And
Always
Yam Yam
lived
too.
up.
That's another really
Tell
great
us I
local
saw
band.
it.
Yam Yam?
Down there
Yam
a
Yam.
You
lot.
all
Like,
need to listen to Yam
So,
Yam.
so what I want you to do for me, man, is I want you to send me your top 10. Like, you guys get together as a band. Send me your top 10 local
Gotcha.
band songs for Spotify. I'll put the playlist. We'll call it Burden of Guilt's Top 10. And I'm gonna get a whole bunch of playlists of the local groups, but like every band that come on here, you need to like support everybody, and I want to see your playlists. I want to put them up on our Spotify, and when you guys look at it, you guys can come play the Spotify. Hell, put it on repeat.
Let's do one of those internet challenges. So instead of an ice bucket, let's get the local
Yeah,
guys to
let's
send
do
us the
the
playlist. Send the
Spotify challenge
playlist.
playlist.
Everybody do 10
There's
songs.
so many bands
Are you
I've
gonna
seen in
listen?
the
It's
past
not
year
brown
that I'm
nosing.
going
I
through
think
my
I
head right
can't
now.
remember the name of the song when I get back in the truck. I'll listen to it again. I looked you guys up immediately when he said I was like, who's the Roe Bison?
Oh, the Robice. You looked at one of our songs.
Yes,
Okay.
I was like, oh, I like this.
Oh
Like,
yeah. Well,
I'll know the name in a couple of
The-
days. I'll know all the lyrics.
I don't have anything on Spotify for the
Okay,
Robison.
okay.
I have some stuff up for another project, but during COVID I was doing most of the work myself, and with the other project that I have called Founding Farther, which is like political social justice type music. So I have some of that up there. I was doing that all on my own. I played all the instruments. It was a lot of work, but I haven't actually put much.
So there's
up
potential
from-
that it wasn't even a Roe Bison song.
But that's okay, man. Like, that's okay. One of my goals for this year is to get some recording done in here, and I want you guys to come in and maybe do
Let's do
a
it.
couple songs for me on the EP and get
Yes.
you guys up on
Yeah.
you know
Yeah.
up on Spotify. I'll be doing the same thing for my band once we get some stuff out there. It's been a little bit since we had some lineup challenges last year, and then the process of building this thing, I did a lot of the work
It's
myself.
beautiful.
So I didn't get to practice as much, but I've got a ton of songs, man. I've been writing songs for 20 years. It's like my favorite thing in all the world. But
man.
I know we're pressed for time, guys. I really appreciate you coming on. I think I covered everything from the outline I wanted to, and then more. You guys are very interesting, so we'll have you back on maybe after you finish an EP, get some stuff out, and you know,
Give me 6 weeks.
6 weeks.
Give me 6 weeks. They're good. I'm
I don't know, man.
Back
You were
into it.
You were
fine.
doing all
But
right.
fine.
I'm so listen,
You were
with
good.
this-
You were
it's like
Then
you
you're
said,
good
that
too.
young man thing you said
Yeah.
earlier, I just said
This
that
is-
to a friend. I'm
this is
like,
my
man, I'm
last-
32.
this is my
But
last
you'll
thing I'll
be
say.
solid at the Kettle on the 17th.
Yeah. That,
You guys are gonna be awesome.
Yeah, I think that
You guys are gonna be good. It's gonna be tough.
I will say this one last thing about and I apologize if things are off and things, but like we plan on growing more and succeeding more in this music industry, and we really appreciate all the people who have came out and watched us tonight. Thank you for your support.
Thank you.
It means everything to me. I promise you the next time we're on here, next time I see us play, it's gonna be
I'll see
Legendary.
you out there.
I don't know, Dave,
I'll
it was
see you
pretty
out
good
there on the
tonight, man.
circuit.
We're gonna play
I
the
keep
roof
telling
It
him
was
that
good
he,
stuff.
he's
You
his
hit-
own worst critic. Like
I am.
he beats
That's-
himself. I'm like, he's like, I don't like my
I
voice.
was like
tonight."
that
I'm
at the
"Nah,
ball
dude, you're good.
show.
Keep going, let's rip.
I get so in my head, man. Like, because like I know that I had the ability. It's just but like I know you have to like take a
Let
step
the other
back.
people build you up. You
Yeah.
sounded great. I thought we
Get
were
in
good.
the
I was
fields, man.
like I
Get
said,
in the
I'm
fields
all
and
over
just
the place
go.
because
I had fun,
3 of the
though.
songs
I had a
just
blast,
learned
dude.
tonight. So.
I had a
Yeah,
freaking
well, I'm
blast.
glad you guys were able to come out. We'll get the videos out to you probably like in a week or so. I gotta
Awesome.
cut them up a little bit.
Yeah, it's
Awesome.
And I'll get them out. But it's just like from a standpoint, you guys don't mind if I use your videos in future programs,
No.
right? Like,
Please.
I mean, I recorded them, so technically,
They're yours.
I
That's
don't
the law.
want to because you guys recorded it like it's your music.
Yep.
But as long as you're cool with me doing that, like,
100%, dude.
Yep.
I'm cool with that.
Dude, I want to help you. Like,
Alright.
we were just talking
See you
about the
next
stream,
round.
dude.
All right, yeah. Thanks everyone.
Yeah,
Thank
thank you.
Love
Signing
you.
off.
Goodbye.
Thanks for watching.